and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and also a true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, and galactic ambassador from Pleiadians. And with me today is again two wonderful ladies, Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who see great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And with us is Jeanne Reina, licensed psychotherapist in the state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients empower themselves. Jeanne sees herself as a lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. Please remember, if you or your family or friends are interested in personal therapy and healing, you can reach out to Morganne or Jeanne or myself for private sessions. All contact details are in the description below the video. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channel. Okay, guys, and that introduction is done today.
Hi.
Hello. How you been?
I'm good. How about you, Jeanne? How you been?
I'm doing really well.
Good.
Yeah.
I can see Morganne back home now.
Yep, I'm back home.
Great.
I like coming home. Coming home's good. It's just such a good, just that whole concept of going home to what's familiar, which it's such a it's an exciting time. I love to go too, but coming home is always so special.
Yeah.
How long you been at your daughter's?
Oh, I was there for about a week. Yeah.
It's quite some time away from home.
Yeah, it is. But it was good to get back home, and I've already made a complete mess of my apartment because I got my projects going again. Like, I got 2 quilt projects going on, and I'm still in my phase of mastering making sourdough bread. So so there's that. I've been eating a lot of bread.
And how it goes?
Huh?
How you managing?
Oh, my last 2, I made a bread yesterday, and it's so good.
That's my favorite bread.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's supposed to be
go ahead, Jeanne.
I was going to say it's supposed to be one of the better breads for you.
It is no sugar. I mean, well, you don't make it with sugar. I mean, bread in itself is carbs, so but yeah, it is a healthier bread to eat. So yeah, and then I'm just going to start experimenting with different kinds of flours now with my bread.
Excellent.
So yeah.
That's actually not understand. In America, do you have actually sour this bread?
Sourdough bread? Yeah.
We do, but not so much.
We don't have in England. There is no possible, apart from Polish shops, yeah,
What?
is not possible to buy sourdough bread. Only Polish shops, because from my country, from Poland, from all European countries, yeah, you can get this bread, but not in England.
Well, sourdough's a whole different thing. You got to have your starters. It's like having a pet. I am not kidding you, because you got to feed this thing or it'll die, right? So there's an awareness around this. It's a lot. It really is. It's alive, right? And then it's the feeding it. And it reminds me a lot of kombucha, because because I haven't made kombucha for a couple of years, but I made it for a long time, and there's one particular kind called Jun, Jun, and it's the kombucha that Tibetan monks make. And with that kombucha, well, they take it and put it. It's like it's prayed to. There's a consciousness within it. They do chimes for it, and that particular gin is made with honey and not sugar. So I got a hold of a gin mother several years ago, and I kept it alive for a long time. And I made a little altar on top of my refrigerator with a little chime, because I figured if the monks had been doing it, it would probably be a good thing to continue that tradition. And so every day I would go and do a ding for the Jun.
That's great.
Yeah, it's bringing awareness and consciousness to it, as far as I'm concerned, right? It's not, I mean, I can go to the store and buy kombucha anytime. They got it in the convenience stores. I mean, it's like everywhere now, right? So, making kombucha like making sourdough bread, you really don't need to, because I could go to the store and just buy sourdough bread, but it's not going to taste like mine. It's not going to have the consciousness. And like when I'm baking or doing things like that, man, I've got music going, I'm singing, I'm having a good time. It's and yesterday I'm working on quilts, and I have a record player now, so I play albums throughout the day. So I'm changing my albums. I'm working on quilt designs. I'm baking bread. I am so in my happy place when I can be doing that kind of activity. It's all life. It's all good.
Right. And I like the fact where you said that we honor, that you honor the kombucha, because it's about really being conscious of what you're doing. Sometimes we eat and on the fly, and we're not paying attention, and we're not paying attention to what we're eating.
Exactly.
And so it's really like a sacred act. And that's, if we treated all food like that, and that's what the blessing is, no matter what we're eating, to bless it, because it gives it a certain energy to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It transforms it. And that I love that piece of this conversation, because I was at a demonstration one time, and this is right before I started working with Dr. David Hawkins' work on kinesiology and consciousness. And the gentleman that was giving the talk was at a church, and he was showing how working with the consciousness of blessing. Mm-hmm. So he had somebody come up on the stage, and he had them put their hands behind their back. And he says, I'm going to put something in your hand back here. And he so one hand was behind the back and one hand was out. So he put a pack of sugar in that man's hand in the back, but the man didn't know it. And so he was doing applied kinesiology. I don't know if you know, I'm trying to get my hand in there. When we do muscle testing to see if you're strong for whatever you're going to eat, or you're weak. Right. So he had the sugar back there, and he tested the man, and the man just went weak. He had no push. He was just totally weak. And then the man said, I want you. So the man still didn't know what was in his hand. He goes, I want you to bless what's in your hand. Sight unseen, just bless it. So the man closed his eyes and did his blessing. And the man who was teaching us about that retested him, and he was strong.
Wow.
He was strong. And so then, of course, he had the man bring out what was in his hand. He goes, oh, a pack of sugar. He goes, you can, you shouldn't be eating a bunch of sugar anyway, but you can bless it, and you can transform it into goodness just by your word. just by your consciousness. And so, yeah, so blessing the Jeanne for the kombucha, blessing your food for what you're eating, blessing your body, blessing your body. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, you got me down a path here.
It's interesting. This reminds me of something I was doing yesterday. I was taking a walk, and I was walking up these really steep steps, and I was getting tired. And I remembered when I wasn't able to walk because of an injury I had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to, even though I was getting tired, I wanted to thank my body for enabling me to walk now, getting over that injury and being able to walk. And as I did that, I got more and more energy. And it was just amazing to watch that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, usually I stop in the middle of this, huge steps, and I just kept on walking. It's really
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Anytime we put energy back on the truth, which I would call that truth, right? I remember because I was doing a lot of bicycling for a while, and then something happened to my body, so I didn't bicycle for a chunk of time. And I remember when I started up again, I could barely go up the hill. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. I thought I was just going to have to hang that bike up for the rest of my life. I remember starting up the hill and then having to get down off my bike and then walk it up the hill. And I wasn't willing to do that. And so the next time I went out, I remember before I went, I just prayed for strength, God's strength. And it was all I could think about praying for was just strength. And I took off on my bike and I went about 12 miles. And I was not tired. I could have gone on, but I was going on the strength of God. And it's phenomenal what happens. And at that day, I had someone riding with me, and they're going, I got to turn around. That's why we only went 12 miles, because the person I was with I got to stop, but I could have kept going. It was phenomenal. So when you change your mind, right? We talk about in the Course in Miracles, what is a miracle? It's a change in perception. So Jeanne had a change in perception when she began to thank her body for what it was able to do to walk. I had a change of perception with me that I was no longer recovering from an injury, because that's kind of how I kept putting, I'm recovering from an you can get away with a lot of stuff by put all your stuff in that. But, I'm recovering from an injury. I can't do that's bullshit. I'm riding with the strength of God. That is a miracle, because it's a change in perception. Because if I kept holding myself as recovering from an injury, then I'd always be recovering from an injury. And, that gets you stuck. So the miracle is to have a change of perception, what we have the capacity to do. I know I sent out an email. Did you both get the email I sent out to the Course in Miracles?
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Yeah. So I was talking about, and here again is this is a miracle, a change of perception, because, everybody goes, how is it that you have these connections with these animals? Right. And it's pretty wild what happens with me and animals. They they just come to me, and it's good, but that's not the way it always was. And in that email, I shared that I'd been attacked and bitten by a Doberman. Out of the blue. I didn't even see it coming, because it happened from the back. And I got a scar on my arm for the remembering of that. But there was a point in my life where me being afraid just didn't, that is not how I wanted to live my life, as in fear of animals or people. I was afraid of people too. I was afraid of animals, especially dogs. And
I think there's two things going on there. Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's not only your fear that you had, but I think it's also carrying anger in your body. Because
yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But for that particular thing, it was just a fear, anger about people, probably. Yeah, you know, whatever it was, I was a transmitter for fear and, you know, being attacked, whatever. And I wasn't willing to be that. And in this part, I didn't tell the Course in Miracles group was that the only human I'd ever heard about that could be present with animals and animals be present with him was Saint Francis of Assisi. So I got really mad one day. I said, "Okay, Saint Francis, I want your consciousness now. I want you to teach me how you did this. Teach me the consciousness of your love, of your presence, so that I can walk with the animals, that they can walk with me, and there's no fear." And it wasn't too long where all of a sudden I was starting a different meditation practice. I was doing my walks in a different way. And all of a sudden I realized that animals were now attracted to me. And it you know, it's a process. And you know, and today it's like, it almost seems like that's such a distant story, like it was almost another life that wasn't me. Right? And so it is the capacity to change your mind about things, because I could still be afraid of dogs, right? But I wouldn't get to have the experiences I have now with the love and the trust and the deepening of relationship with all animals, not just dogs, cats, deer. I got deer come hang out with me all the time. You know, just, yeah, it's a miracle to change your mind, change your perception. And actually, that's what today is all about in our Course in Miracles book. I think I'll read that since I'm already on a jag. Anybody want to say anything about what I've been yakking about?
You know, I have the same thing that you have with animals, and I think, and for me, it's not only, you know, I see it as more as anger, because I didn't have fear of animals, but I did have anger, and I noticed as I worked on my anger and got rid of my anger, animals responded to me in a different way.
Yeah. Well, today, February 26th, the theme is forgiveness. Forgiveness merely means changing our minds, right? So here we go. You know, it really gets down to changing our minds. So, okay. So many of us spend years resenting others' behavior. Maybe a sibling took advantage of us. Perhaps a parent never encouraged us in school. A teacher may have punished us for what a classmate did. A spouse may have had an affair. We can add to this list every day, but what's the point? Does it make us feel better? On the contrary, the more we focus on others' shortcomings, the more prevalent they seem and the worse we feel. Being in conflict with one person strains our relationships with everyone. And I'm just going to point that out with what Jeanne said, right? When she worked on her anger, right? relationships with animals changed for her. So that's yeah, I just wanted to point that out. The absence of peace knows no bounds. More important, what we perceive as being out there is really our internal creations. Whatever happened yesterday or last year or 40 years ago can be forgiven, and forgiveness. Wait a minute, let me read that again. Whatever happened yesterday or last year or 40 years ago can be forgiven and forgotten in an instant. That's the key lesson of A Course in Miracles. We reap what we sow. All that is happening, happiness from us, all that is keeping happiness from us is our resistance to forgiving others. Let's change. And the affirmation is, how I look at my experiences today determines whether I add any resentments to my list. I will see only love.
I really like that because it says, how I look at my experience today determines whether I add any resentments to my list. Because what happens is when we're angry, we see anger like we get angry at everything. Like it just permeates, throughout our life. Yeah. And we build resentments. And I'm for one that had resentments, and I could carry it for years. And and I believe I was justified, like that was my belief. I'm justified, and we can justify anything, and it's really interesting to take out the justification. It's because I could be justified in my view, and the other person could be justified in their view. It's just the way you look at it. So it's like, when we hold our anger and we feel justified, we don't really think, where is that other person coming from? Because we're so angry, we don't even care what that person thinks. But so then it's like, when we can see the other person's side, we can understand where they're coming from. And I think it's really healing. I think doing this helps heal the world, because it changes our energy and it changes our vibrations. So we open to more things, and just like, and whether we're conscious of it or not, we're reading people's energies all the time. Yeah. And we like, do you ever walk down the street and see somebody that's like really happy and you're just like, oh, like you feel really warm to that person, but if somebody's walking down with a scowl on their face, you want to get away from them, and so it's the energy they're putting out. And so I think it's really important to make sure our energy is good, like that if we have a problem with somebody, we work it out, if we can with them, and if we can't, we work it out within ourselves, and we bless them, and we don't judge them. It's just bless them, and that's they're doing the best they can, with what they have, and we're all not the same, which makes life really exciting in a way, and so it's about just allowing people to be where they are and not trying to change them, because we can never change anybody. They have to want to change themselves.
We got enough to do to try to change us.
Exactly.
You remind me of one time my daughter used to work downtown Seattle for a period of time, and she wanted me to come have lunch with her. And so I had my dog Bella, and Jeanne will remember my sweet little girl Bella. She was a little King Cavalier that was a healer dog. I mean, that dog was very special. But we went downtown Seattle, and it is downtown Seattle, the streets, the big buildings, the hustle, the bustle. And that's something I don't usually do because I live in the forest, big difference in where we're going. But here we are, and I get the dog out, and we're trotting down the road. And something that I noticed are the people that are coming forward had their heads down. Some of them were on phones, just everybody head down. There was a whole energy of not happiness. I'll just say that, not happiness. But what happened is we would walk down the street. She was so happy and joy filled. It leaked out all over. I mean, it was like this dog was the radiance of joy, and she's happy. And people all of a sudden would get distracted by that joy and stop what they were doing. Everybody wanted to pet her and touch her and be with her and stop what they were doing. And by the time I got to my daughter, she goes, "It took you a long time to get here." I go, "We had work to do all the way down the road." I go, "This dog had to give joy to everyone." But that's it right there. That when we hold hostility or anger or resentments, that leaks out and affects everybody. Everybody. Even if we think it doesn't, it does.
Absolutely.
But joy, same thing, right? Same thing. If you could get into that joyful place and walk down the road, how many lives do you lift up? How many lives? Because if we walk around with our head hanging down, moping and all that, how many lives are we bringing down with us? Right? So are we uplifting or are we dragging down? So it's really important to really check where you are. What's your resonance? What do I forgive today?
Right. And, I mean, we talk about this as though it's just, it is a change of mind. But I think, when I first heard that it's just changing the mind, I was like, no, you don't know what they did to me.
Right?
So but the fact is it's your internal work. It's not the other person. The other person's just showing up for the work that you have to do. Because when you have resentment towards somebody about something, it's inevitable that you're going to have resentment to somebody else. It's just, and it keeps on going.
Yep.
So it's just about coming back to yourself and asking, God, the universe, the Holy Spirit for help to help you remove it. Because, we're not, when we think we can do it on our own, there's no way we can, and then if we can seek out help as through therapy, different healers around, it just keep on working on until it clears in different ways that help you. Because, and then once you clear these things, you realize it was just a thought, and we can change our thought.
Yep. You can also ask the Holy Spirit to help.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Ask the Holy Spirit, ask anybody for help.
Yep.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, when we have that, we build up like guards, like we protection around us, that, oh, I'm not going to let that person hurt me again. I'm not going to, but if we keep on saying that, we think we have to do everything ourselves, and we don't ask for help. And it's asking for help that humbles us, where we're open to the healing.
Yep. Yep. You're being mighty quiet there, Miss Daga.
I'm listening at the moment.
How about we pull some cards?
Yes, pull the card.
Okay.
Given the conversation we're on, allow yourself to whatever's coming up for you around all of this, or each of us around this, and then we'll make it like a universal thing for, again, like whatever Daga's energy is that she's asking the cards, whatever Jeannie, whatever mine, and whoever's listening, see what resonates with you, because we are all different, and in a lot of ways we're all the same. We have the way to get, we think we're different, we think we're special, but we're not. Not so much. So let's just put our energy on the cards, and then we'll let Jeannie go first this time, because we always have Daga go first. We're going to have Jeannie go first this time. And just whatever the question is you have for the card, just ask me to stop, and then I'll stop, and then we can go over that.
Okay, let me think of a question for the card.
Okay.
That will be a long question.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, you just tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
I love the cards you got. It's so beautiful. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, Daga, your turn.
I thought you will show.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll just do them all at the same time.
Stop.
All right. So this is the one that came for.
Sorry, did you take your card?
I did. Okay. So this is the one that Jeannie said stop on.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It's like my whole, I want to cry looking at it.
That's what I do too.
It's so beautiful. Wow.
I could just look at this all day long. There's, oh my God. Oh my God.
Especially remind me how your daughter's dog was looking at you.
Oh yeah, when you saw him looking at me on the phone. Yeah.
That was exactly the same feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called the Deer of Delta.
So should I tell you my question?
Sure. What's the question? This ought to be good.
So I have a difficult, because of my upbringing, I have a difficult time trusting. And so I said, how do I give up my fear to trust more? And then I got that card.
I'm going to turn on one more light so I can see this a little bit better, so I can read more smoothly. Okay, Deer of Delta. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied as a spirit at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it, and to unlearn what one knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is a realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here, one is completely unconscious. There is temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here, the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healings are gained. In the Delta state, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding.
Ooh.
Just,
It's beautiful.
wow. And then, we can each take the consciousness of that card, because we're all here, right? And I know it's already affected me and Dega. It was Jeannie's question, but it's like it's for all of us. And I just loved, that really is about what we've been talking about today. Just that surrendering to the gentleness, to the presence, surrendering. Being reborn. That's a miracle, isn't it? That change of mind, being reborn. Okay, wow. And then we move to Degas, which is, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Tantra
Wow.
of, wait a minute, what is it? Tantra of 639 hertz.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, let's find out what Tantra of 639 hertz. The question is, okay, so Dega, just see how this answers your question.
I have no idea, because question was what we need to do to reach financial freedom. What Tantra has to do with financial freedom, I have no idea yet.
Oh, well, let's find out. Okay. And the other thing too, with this particular set of cards, they often will give you a hertz. And what I notice is, if you go and work, if you like, YouTube has tons of musical things
Yeah, I know.
to listen to, right? I usually go and, with whatever I was working on, find one of those to sit in that hertz. So,
okay, I already wrote down, actually, for that reason, because I many times doing the same thing.
Okay, let's hear what it's got to say here. Be open to that which seems unfamiliar or different. You will experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. You are on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. You do not have to contrive your own happiness, but you can dip into the bliss within your body to lighten your mental state and remind yourself everything is working out beautifully. Tantra is the conscious, creative intermingling of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine energies that dwell within every human heart. When one chooses to honor the interplay of these sacred energies, we become able to engage with the mysteries of our life and respond creatively. Tantra is the refusal to turn away from your life experiences, even the painful ones, because you recognize that with wisdom, spiritual growth can emerge from all things. Tantra is the willingness of your heart to thoroughly embrace that which might be difficult or different to what we expect. And through such open minded, open hearted engagement, discover a capacity to love and become wise. Tantra is the sacred relationship of the spirit with the body, which creates the soul with all its precious gifts of healing, creativity, love, and higher consciousness. The frequency of 639 hertz evokes unity. It moves beneath the conflict and grounds us in simplicity, connection, and love. When the Tantra of 639 hertz is in a reading, soul connections, whether twin flames, soulmates, spirit guides, or soul tribes, are especially significant to our spiritual growth. This frequency enhances the capacity for conscious and healing interactions between those who have been at odds. It's a loving cosmic bliss bomb which breaks the toxic grip of any ego and facilitates soulful connections and karmic healing. If you've been working through relationship issues, this oracle brings good news for healing and resolution.
Okay.
Now, as you know, sometimes we get answers that we go, oh, okay. But I go ahead, Vega.
It feels like somebody from above, from Pleiades, is asking me, you have to connect with me more. That's at the moment is the message what I'm hearing here.
Yep. And that whole Tantra thing is associated too with the second chakra, which is our seat of creation. So it's, it's also working with that second chakra. I'll just throw that out there too.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can I ask a question? It said tune into the body. Tantra, no, I'm sorry. Tune into the body too. It's in the beginning. That's okay.
Well, here I'm just looking. It says Tantra is the sacred relationship of the spirit and the body, which creates the soul with all its precious gifts of healing, creativity, love, and higher consciousness. Is that what you were looking for?
No, but that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Morganne.
You're welcome.
Yours.
Mine is really interesting. I've never even seen this one before. So this is the image, and it says epsilon modulation.
Wow.
So I'm looking at those chakra points, especially that one heart right there at the heart, and then the one at the third eye. And then you see it open at the top at the crown.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in this little card.
Wonderful.
Okay. Let's see what it says for me. Epsilon modulation. So my question was, let me go back. What was my question? Because it was couched in what we were talking about, and for me, it was what is the rest of the work that I need to do now to fully emerge as my true, authentic, sacred self. So that's mine. Okay, epsilon modulation. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. Let your actions match your inner rhythms rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues. Commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, you will realize your spiritual power to be at cause in any situation of concern. You have such goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming. Embrace the spiritual beauty within. Reaching inspired spiritual heights requires commitment to developing powerful, deep roots. A mature creative offering takes longer to produce than that which is ephemeral and swiftly supplanted by whatever is next. To embrace the patience required for such building, surrender the need for immediate gratification. We must become so confident in the authenticity and value of our process that we're not in need of external evidence to bolster our courage. We can enjoy validation along the way, but must not turn away if it is absent for a time. And that's a big one right there. That statement right there. We can enjoy validation along the way, but we must not turn away if it's absent for a time. Because sometimes you don't give validation. So sometimes you're kind of walking feeling blind, at least for me. Especially if those around us appear to be moving faster. With such confidence and courage, we will be able to deepen and slow our breath and our restless nature, and allow for the inner workings of our souls to manifest beautiful healing magic. This oracle asks you to ground yourself, believe in your potential, commit to your path, and be patient so great things can happen for you.
That's beautiful.
There's more in these readings, but I would be here a long time reading.
And we are already, how time flies. It's already 48 minutes we are on. So.
Yeah. You know, these, when we do these cards, I can go, oh, I relate so much to what Jeannie's was and I relate to what Daga said, and then I get to mine, I go, oh. But it's correct. I'm not a grounded human. It takes a lot of work for me to be grounded. I can justify that too. My whole zodiac card, I have no earth in my zodiac. None. I'm water, air, and there's a little bit of fire. So it's like I've had to always work on that groundedness. And this is bringing back that tutoring to me to go back to be grounded. Because it's so easy for me to be in the upper chakras and experiencing, oneness and bliss. But I'm here on this planet. And I can't bring that back unless I get grounded to bring it back and be a channel for it to come. So that's kind of what it gives to me.
That's beautiful.
I actually recently found out that I am as a one numerologist. One of my school friends now is very interested in numerology, and she is working on that. And she told me that I'm actually have only head. I don't have body. I'm completely connected to Earth because I'm 4. I'm 22. That's actually 4 in double. Yeah, and 4 is connected to Earth. Only head. There is no body. Some other number has body but doesn't have this connection to Earth. Yeah. So I now understand where my being somewhere there, where that's coming from.
Yep.
Another excuse why I'm not grounded.
Yeah, you can justify it. That's just the way I am.
Yes, exactly. That's just the way I am.
And there's a part of that that's truth. If we think about what our nature is, right, and be in acceptance of that nature. It was really hard being what I am in my world because other people expected me to be something more grounded, more I don't know, to be not what I am, right? But to in order for me to discover who I am, I had to be who I am, and the spiritual nature that I am is I've accepted it now. But it's also I am that, but I also am here in a human body for a particular purpose, and so working with that nature of who I am. And I invite everyone to do that. Discover who you are and be that. And you can be more, but be that unapologetically.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Are we doing some meditation or we already too late?
Well, I think we don't really have time for meditation now, but what I would encourage everyone to do is really take what the messages from these words and for what we've been talking about and see where inside of you it's stimulated or you're maybe recoiling from it. It's like sometimes that happens too when we bump up against the truth. It's something we don't want to hear. It's like, but I would invite everyone to begin. I'll come back to the Course in Miracles. Begin to see with eyes of love. And that's our theme for this week, right? When we have the courage to look out through eyes of love, then all this stuff about who we are, where we are, what's not happening in our lives, or what is happening in our lives, when we begin to look at it through that awareness of love, through that consciousness of love, through the eyes of love, then love can come back looking at you. But when we do it through eyes of fear or not enough or I'm alone or any of those concepts that keep us separated, then we're separated. And that's just the way that works. So anchor back in with love and with your authentic self and be that fully and completely and meet your world that way, unapologetically. Be present as who you are without pushing it on anyone, or it's just a radiance of your being. Just show up. So, and that's what I would leave for meditation today is be you in all the radiance of your being and just show up in the world with that.
Okay, thank you, Morganne. Jeanne, do you have anything to say?
Thank you, both of you. It was really great. And thank you for everyone who's listening.
Thank you for everybody who is tuning in now and who will be listening later. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening us. Please go back and look at more of Morganne's wisdom. We already recorded many videos, so there is plenty of wisdom to look up. Have a wonderful week and see you next week. God bless.